What is emulation? This video will give a simple explanation of what emulation is and the basics behind it. It will explain its uses to record-keeping professionals and the benefits it can provide, whilst also addressing its disadvantages. So, what is emulation? Emulation comes from the verb emulate, meaning reproduce or imitate. In terms of computer emulation, this is the use of one system to imitate or reproduce the functions and results of another, often obsolete system. This can be done using hardware, software, or a combination of the two. However, since hardware is expensive to reproduce, most emulation is done via software, i.e. a computer program. Why is emulation important to record-keeping professionals? Emulation is one of the main methods that can be used in digital preservation, along with other methods such as migration and technology preservation. Emulation aims to overcome a major obstacle of digital preservation, that of technological obsolescence. When original hardware or software stops working and/or is no longer available, important digital files may be no longer accessible. Emulation allows the files to be used whilst replicating the appearance, behaviour and feel of the original digital object, helping to provide the user with the original experience, and so presents the best option for the preservation of complex digital objects, such as video games, simulations or software art. For example, many old video games were produced to run on what is now obsolete hardware. Therefore, the only way to access these games is by locating original hardware and software in full working condition, or by using emulation. Problems with emulation are that there is a high cost involved with developing an emulator and a high level of expertise required to do so. Emulators will need to be migrated if and when the hardware they run on becomes obsolete. There are also potential software copyright issues that can hinder the development of emulators. And there are also arguments that emulators preserve information systems functionality rather than records. However, despite the high costs involved in the development of emulators, this is likely to be cheaper than the cost of maintaining the original hardware or software long term. Regarding migration of emulators, there are two suggested solutions: either to create emulators to such standards that will allow ease of migration to future hardware, or to create emulators to run within a virtual environment that itself can be easily migrated. Also, any copyright issues should hopefully be dealt with upon ingest. So, in summary, emulation is one of the main methods of digital preservation. It is the use of one system to imitate or reproduce the functions and results of another system. It is used to overcome technological obsolescence, and it has a high initial cost, but is likely a better solution long term for the preservation of complex digital objects. Thank you for watching.
Created using Powtoon.